faithfully bringing value to you by interpreting great books from around the world. Hi, this is Sally from Sally Talking Books. Today, I'm going to interpret the book How Chicken Conquered the World for you. A lot of folks don't see chickens as birds, they just think of them as food. It's really the biggest misconception about chickens. Chickens aren't just birds, they're actually the most common birds on the planet. You know, even if you tally up all the cats, dogs, pigs, and cows combined, it still wouldn't beat how many chickens there are. Right now, there are always over 20 billion chickens worldwide at any moment. That averages out to about 3 chickens per person. And the second most common bird, some small finch in Africa, has only about 2 billion. So you can see that chickens' dominance is pretty much rock solid. If we just go by numbers, chickens have conquered the world. So, how did they pull that off? That's exactly what the book How Chicken Conquered the World tries to answer. The author, Andrew Lawler, is an American science writer who also writes for science magazines. His writing covers a broad spectrum in various genres. In this book, he lays out solid historical evidence to sketch out how chickens took over the world. Sure, saying chickens conquered the world might sound a bit over the top. I mean, even we humans who rule the planet wouldn't claim that lightly. Looking at the English title literally, the author was really asking why chickens have spread everywhere in the world. Nowadays, except for Antarctica and Vatican City, which is too small for chicken coops, chickens are pretty much everywhere. Heck, they've even gone to space. NASA actually looked into bringing chickens to Mars because they're super adaptable and could feed astronauts. The author says if cats and dogs vanished, owners would be heartbroken, but life would go on pretty much as usual. But if chickens disappeared, all heck would break loose. Back in 2012, when egg prices shot up in Mexico, folks actually protested in the streets, calling for the government to resign. And in Egypt, higher chicken prices helped spark revolutionary movements too. So it's clear chickens affect us in every way. They prove themselves through action, not by chasing glory. In food, religion, medicine, and even fun, they're totally indispensable. That's exactly what makes chickens valuable, and it's how they've conquered the world. So I'm going to introduce you to the 5 key weapons chickens used to conquer the world: nutritional value, mating ability, religious significance, combativeness, and medicinal value. It's precisely these weapons that have forced humans into heavy dependence on chickens. We can't live without land, without water, and without chickens either. First off, humans fell for chickens not because of their looks, but for their flesh and the eggs constantly popping out of their rear ends. Ah, yeah. And in other words, the first weapon chickens used to conquer the world is their nutritional value. After humans entered agricultural societies, they started growing and eating tons of grains. But a monotonous diet easily causes malnutrition. Beyond grains, people need to supplement protein and key amino acids, especially lysine and threonine. Without these amino acids, you'd get dizzy, weak, and lose your appetite. And eggs are packed with them. What's more, raising chickens doesn't need special land or water and doesn't even require dedicated caretakers. Therefore, chicken meat and eggs became the top choice for humans to boost nutrition. The author speculates that chickens' ancestors were likely a type of red junglefowl from Myanmar, red meaning the color, junglefowl meaning wild chicken. They eat anything: seeds, husks, bugs, even mosquitoes, so they don't compete with humans for food and act as cleaners. More importantly, chickens grow fast, lay tons of eggs, and have super regular routines, even better than humans. They don't need reminders. They naturally rise at dawn and rest at dusk. Every morning, they crow on time from their owners, loudly and totally free. When it comes to dedication, no animal beats chickens. Almost every part of them is edible, and people love eating it all. For example, Russians love chicken legs, Spaniards love wings, Turks love gizzards, Americans love breast meat, and the Dutch use chicken bones to make tasty broth. In international trade, chickens can be broken down into dozens of products sold worldwide with almost no waste, laying a solid foundation for their world conquest. Chickens started conquering the world with their bodies in America, where they once banned slaves from raising pigs, cows, or even geese and ducks. But in the end, white people showed mercy and allowed slaves to keep raising chickens. This way, slaves could earn their own income. Plus, black women who cooked for white folks would encourage their masters to eat more chicken, boosting its popularity. But how did fried chicken, that beloved food, become so widespread in America? Well, it all started with a sudden slave rebellion. Back in 1800, in Richmond, Virginia, a slave plotted rebellion to create a black nation and crown a white housewife named Mary as queen. No special reason, just because her fried chicken was outrageously delicious, heavenly, and irresistible. Sadly, the plot got exposed quickly, and the ringleader was thrown in jail. When Mary's husband heard this, he flew into a rage and demanded all conspirators be executed. The case reached Thomas Jefferson during his presidential campaign, becoming major news across America. From then on, everyone knew about Mary and her fried chicken. Though Mary never became queen, she published a book revealing her fried chicken recipe. First coat chicken with flour, sprinkle salt, then fry in lard till golden. Done! Not just simple, but dirt cheap too. This spread like wildfire across America, and KFC was born. Fast food's rise fueled a chicken farming frenzy, even becoming a speculation hotspot. Despite setbacks, chicken farming always bounced back because cattle need ranches, while chickens just need basic cages. Plus, chicken tastes pretty darn good. Mass farming made chicken the world's largest and cheapest meat, with billions traded globally yearly. You might not afford a whole cow or sheep, but rarely a whole chicken. Sheep, easy availability is chicken's biggest conquest advantage. Chicken's status remains unshakable. More people means more demand. Meeting humanity's endless demand relies on its second weapon, mating ability. Oh, without a doubt. Any animal wanting to conquer the world needs serious mating skills and rock-solid determination. Otherwise, they can't produce enough offspring to even think about world domination. In the reproduction arena, roosters never disappoint. They show jaw-dropping prowess in the mating game. But biologically speaking, roosters actually don't have penises. That's a fascinating fact. The strange trait ties to chickens' evolutionary strategy, and it's a common misunderstanding. But when people see roosters mounting hens, they assume it's like mammal mating. Actually, it's quite different. Roosters use a cloaca instead of a penis. Simply put, the cloaca is the exit for both waste and mating. It's a dual-purpose channel handling both excretion and reproduction. So, hence the name cloaca. With such basic equipment, roosters must release enormous sperm quantities each time. They ejaculate 80 times more sperm than humans, over 8 billion. And get this, roosters do this multiple times daily. Their dedication goes beyond just quantity. They need the hen's cooperation too. Both must flip their cloacas outward and press them tightly together for fertilization. This means roosters can't force mating. They require willing partners. Ironically, this cooperation boosts fertility. After all, forced mating doesn't exactly inspire egg-laying enthusiasm. Take ducks as contrast. Drakes have powerful penises unlike roosters. They often force mating on females, sometimes even drowning them during the act. So, despite long penises, ducks breed less efficiently than chickens. That's why they're nowhere near as successful. Roosters' potent mating made them sexual symbols in ancient cultures, even emblems of male desire. The Vatican museums hold a private artifact, a small bronze statue with a human torso and rooster head. But this rooster has no beak. Instead, it's got a meticulously carved human penis. Strangest of all, the base clearly says Savior in Greek. Because the statue was so bizarre, people once suspected it was fake. Later, a similar bust was found in an ancient Greek temple. That's when folks realized roosters were seen as saviors during Socrates' time. The root cause? Precisely their potent mating ability, combined with crowing at dawn, creating deep religious symbolism. Religious value is chicken's third weapon for world conquest. Now let's dive into chicken's religious significance. On the surface, roosters crow and the sun rises, linking them to sunlight. Christians saw them as heralds of dawn, like Jesus waking humanity, making them Christianity's most common animal symbol. Rooster-shaped weather vanes, even perched on crosses, and ballads sang of God himself becoming a sacred rooster. Chickens hitched a ride on religion, speeding up their global takeover. By the 10th century, the Pope ordered roosters atop every Christian church. The word rooster even replaced God in prayers. The sacred status plus affordability let chickens replace cattle as holy sacrifices across religions. The shift quietly sparked a human revolution. In early farming societies, few owned cattle, while many had chickens. Using chickens for sacrifices drew more commoners into rituals. More sacrificial chickens meant higher demand and status for them. Meanwhile, commoners avoided financial strain. Maintaining divine connections cheaply broke the rich's ritual monopoly, fostering equality. Plus, cattle and sheep mainly rely on men for herding, while women can raise chickens at home. More chickens mean it actually signals rising economic status for women. By early 1900s, many large chicken farms were run by women. Even today, the roosters hold significant status in many religions, especially indigenous ones in less developed areas. They worship roosters as deities, messengers granting light, food, and even battle strength. France adopted the rooster as a national symbol not primarily for mating prowess, but for their fierce fighting spirit, chicken's fourth weapon for world conquest. Now let's talk about chicken's combativeness. Chickens are naturally combative. This instinct stems from protecting their offspring. Humans bred battle-loving chickens into gamecocks. Cockfighting as entertainment accelerated chicken's global spread. This might sound odd, but some experts see combativeness as their key conquest weapon, even surpassing meat and eggs. The author cites the Philippines to show cockfighting's fanaticism. Filipinos are the world's most passionate gamecock breeders, developing famous breeds since the 16th century. Today, cockfighting remains hugely influential there, as popular as bullfighting in Spain. Manila hosts an annual Bloody World Cup, like the Super Bowl of cockfighting, drawing crowds of thousands. Like human boxing, matches have two referees. Gamecocks show more confidence than prize fighters. They're fiercely determined, never surrendering. They fight until one dies in the arena. Spectators bet on outcomes, fueling a massive gambling industry that once surpassed tobacco in scale. Showing their obsession. Roughly 15 million gamecocks die yearly in the Philippines. Though many premium breeds are now U.S. produced, the main stage remains in the Philippines. Historical record suggests cockfighting likely originated in China, where the earliest documented evidence is preserved. As early as Confucius's time, it was a royal favorite game. The state of Lu even had civil unrest triggered by cockfighting. Back then, with few entertainments, it became agrarian society's main spectacle. Because it was cheap, low space, highly watchable, and satisfied humanity's bloodlust. More importantly, dead gamecocks could be eaten, virtually no waste. So cockfighting spread worldwide fast. Even old capitalist nations like Britain and America had their phases. Because it's cruel, dangerous, and gambling related, it bred crime and ruined families. In the 19th, 20th centuries, many countries banned it. Maybe cockfighting will fade from arenas, but their fight to the death spirit will remain etched in human memory. Today, chicken's symbolic role fades while practical uses grow. Beyond food, eggs uniquely contribute to medicine, chicken's fifth conquest weapon. Finally, let's discuss chicken's medical role. Folks long knew eggs aren't just food, they're cheap, potent remedies. In many traditions, eggs heal. Even now, they deliver complete nutrition. Some folks skip fried dough or buns for breakfast, but never eggs. Laying hens were common since Socrates' day. Many ancients saw them as mobile medicine chests. Almost every part treated ailments, headaches to depression, like universal cure-all. No disease, internal, surgical, men's or women's health, chickens couldn't treat, especially slow-cooked soup, hailed as supreme tonic. Modern science finally unlocked their full medical value. Eggs play an irreplaceable role in modern medicine, especially for flu vaccine production. Eggs serve as culture media for flu vaccines. Viruses are injected, multiply inside, then inactivated and extracted to create vaccines. These inactivated strains trigger antibody production in our immune systems, making eggs crucial in humanity's fight against influenza. Just one Dresden vaccine factory in Germany produces 60 million flu shots yearly, sold to over 70 countries globally. As tech advances, eggs may become obsolete for vaccine production, but as ideal research subjects, eggs have many other applications, like injecting cancer cells into eggs to study tumor growth and metastasis patterns. For scientists, eggs are near perfect biological systems, more convenient than mice or zebrafish, observable, stationary, and dirt cheap. Today, molecular biologists are transforming chickens into mini pharmaceutical factories. Since hens lay eggs rapidly and their protein synthesis resembles humans, researchers envision implanting human genes into chickens to produce therapeutic proteins and drugs for cancer, AIDS, arthritis, low-cost miracle medicines for millions. Then chickens won't just be food, they'll be true guardians of our health. No wonder the author calls chickens feathered Swiss Army knives. Versatile, affordable, thriving in any society. Few animals get humans to handle breeding and raising, while hens just lay eggs. As poultry farming expands, their numbers will keep breaking records, becoming unconquerable conquerors. Then humans may never escape dependence on chickens. We conquered the world, but chickens conquered us, the animal kingdom's ultimate winners. All right, that wraps up our interpretation of how chicken conquered the world for you. You'll find the reading notes below the audio. See you tomorrow.